Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 25th of June. It is Tuesday. We have a 12-game main slate ahead of us. I have not heard about any weather, so we're just going to focus on the pitching. Again, this is a first look, literally my first look, first time even looking at the number of games on the slate uh, or anything. So Uh, reminder that I am looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. On FanDuel, I would use about a half to a third, somewhere in that range, just because we don't have to be as creative. Uh, Stack pricing isn't quite as tight. So let's dig in here. At the top, we get Joe Ryan. Uh, Certainly viable. Just not a huge fan of the overall matchup on the road against Arizona. It's been pretty solid. He does have hiccups here and there. He's always going to have some hiccups, but he has plenty of upside, and he has been at his best when on the road this season. I feel like that's opposite of what he was last year with the Twins, but maybe I'm not remembering correctly. Uh, he's certainly a fine option for us. Uh, at the top, K prop of 6.5 juice on the under. The Twins are minus 125 road favorites in this one. Lugo, probably a chalky option here, taking on the Marlins offense. It's been strong, been much better on the road, unfortunately, but just been super steady. Uh, really impressive this year, actually. Uh, his K ability is really gone up. It's minus 205 home favorite. Game total is 9.5, which is a little bit worrisome. K prop of 5.5. Juices on the under. I definitely like Lugo. Feels like the chalky option up at the top. Um, it could, I mean, the chalk could easily be him, could be Lopez, it could be even Garrett Cole. The fact that we get Garrett Cole at 9,200 is intriguing. The problem is obviously limitations. Ronaldo Lopez has been phenomenal. I still believe at some point this year he is going to hit a bit of a wall and kind of tail off. Hasn't been quite as strong on the road, but he's been pretty good. Um, K numbers have been stronger on the road, so that's obviously something to pay attention to. Looking at his K prop is 5.5. Juice is slightly on the over. He is a minus 135 road favorite. Uh, Garrett Cole, like we mentioned, 62 pitches. Um, I would guess that he probably approaches 80 in this one. It was a tough matchup to start out his return, but he looks solid enough. 80 pitches, I think we can get there with him. Um, Obviously, a little easier for him to get there, but if they do take it easier on him and limit him to 70 pitches, it's going to be a lot tougher. He has to be super efficient. Probably means strikeouts aren't a huge thing. He is a minus 142 favorite. And I'm trying to locate his K prop here. 5.5 juices strongly on the over. Seems like a good number. I think he's a great GPP play. I just don't think we can trust him if you're a cash player, which I am not. But uh, he just has to be a little more stretched out before we can go to him for cash. The one nice thing is though, like we really haven't seen him at this price point in a while, so there's plenty of upside to be had. Mitch Keller shut down Cincinnati first time he faced them. Hasn't been as strong on the road. I assume this game has pretty strong total. His K prop is at 6.5 with juice on the under. Uh, he's a slight underdog. Game total is just 8.5 in Cincinnati, which is intriguing. Um, we recently saw this Keller versus Greene matchup. Uh, I lean the Hunter Greene side, but I like both guys. Greene dominated in that performance as well. I believe his K prop 6.5 on the over. Uh, So I think both guys are viable. I would say that I prefer Hunter Greene, but Mackenzie Gore taking on his former squad. He's been far better on the road, which is where he's at this evening. K prop of 5.5 juices on the under. I mean over. Sorry, slightly on the over. Uh, he is a slight underdog, but this game total is just 7.5. Uh, I'm a fan of Gore. I'm always gonna play him. He just has a ton of upside. The issue is like he's super volatile. Um, Probably gonna know very early. I really compare him to his former teammate, I guess, in Blake Snell a little bit. They're just very similar. So I mean that volatility does suck, but that upside is tremendous. Obviously, San Diego's lineup takes a hit without Tatis, which is a big bat for him to avoid having to face. Bobby Miller against the White Sox recently returned. Struggled against Colorado, but that was in Colorado. He should be in a better spot in this one. He's a minus 218 road favorite. K props 5.5 juice on the under. Probably blindly going to be extremely chalky, to be honest. Um, Tyler Anderson could be a little chalky as well. But if we have a bunch of guys that I think could be chalky, that means ownership probably ends up spread out. Um, Tyler Anderson's been pretty solid. Walks are a little high. Strikeouts aren't overly strong. There's a couple worries there. They kind of limit his upside because of that. I don't mind him. K props 5.5. Juice is slightly on the under. He's not going to be a priority at all for me. He's a minus 125 favorite, like I understand it. Um, but there's just some bats in the Oakland lineup, even though they are not a very good team. They do have offer a ton of strikeout upside. They do have home runs. So I just don't know if I'm going to get much Tyler Anderson. I actually really like a lot of these guys above here. I'm not really looking to fade any of these guys right now. Um, you know, if I keep finding more guys that I'm very interested in, I might fade from the top and start with Joe Ryan and think that I can match him with somebody down here. So right now, I would think that Tyler Anderson's kind of on the outside looking in, just because I mean we have Hunter Brown down here, who's definitely going to make my pool with the way that he's been pitching after his terrible start to the year. Missouri against Washington. I'm not going to go there. I just don't think he has enough upside right now. He's walking a ton. Ks really aren't there, and obviously Washington doesn't strike out a ton as it is. Kevin Gausman, the fact that we can get him for 8,100 is really intriguing. The problem is Boston just beat him up a little bit. Uh, no, he has been at his best on the road, um, and he's capable of dominating at any point. He's a slight underdog in this game. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the under. Um, he just hasn't been a strong K guy this year. It's going to be tough for me to not use him, but I think I'm going to leave him out as of right now. 8,100 is a very nice price point for a guy like Kevin Gausman. Hunter Brown, like I mentioned, has been pitching extremely well. Kind of figured some things out, whatever it might be. He's been at his best at home, and he takes on the weak Colorado offense. Um, K prop of 7.5 is extremely strong. Um, it's a lot higher than I would have imagined. He's a minus 265 favorite. Um, so definitely the obvious for me. Probably the obvious for the field as well. Brandon Pfaadt against Minnesota probably has upside, but I have to start removing guys. I'll have to dig into this matchup a little bit more. Obviously, Minnesota bats have been pretty strong of late, so it feels like I might have to pass on Pfaadt. A couple guys out. Carson Wisenhunt I believe this would be his major league debut. I have to dig in, but obviously a great spot. The overall Cubs lineup has been pretty weak of late, and it's a great ballpark. But I need to dig in to see, how many innings he's likely to throw at this point. Um, I'm gonna guess some people talk about Mitch Spence, maybe, but I don't think I'm going there. Obviously, it's against a weak Angels squad, but I just don't think he has enough upside for us. Kyle Hendricks probably get talked about. He's pitching in San Francisco, and he looked great his last time out, which was against San Francisco. Um, but yeah, I don't really think you can. At least for me, I can't do Kyle Hendricks. But there we have it. There's a first look at pitcher pool. There are a lot of pitchers on the slate that I think are viable, uh, which means we really have to dig in as the day goes on to get an idea of where we want to go. Uh, if you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at the DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.